Hola, los saludo con muchísimo gusto como siempre. Mi nombre es Alejandro Franco, les doy la bienvenida a mi programa Sesiones. Tenemos invitados de lujo. En alguna ocasión ya habíamos tenido a Alison en el programa, al rato vamos a platicar con ellos. Estoy contento de toda la gente que está aquí porque creo que hay verdaderos fans de la banda que les voy a presentar el día de hoy, ¿cierto? Y estoy seguro que si ustedes no lo son, lo van a hacer después de este show. Los dejo con The Kills.
cry for someone else. I can't get by on an odds and ends of love that don't ever match up. I heard all you said and I took it to heart. I won't forget, I swear. I have no regrets, for the past is behind me. Tomorrow reminds me just where. Can't quite see the end. How can I rely on my heart if I break it with my own two hands? I heard all you said and I love you to death. I heard all you said, don't say anything. It's the last goodbye, I swear. I can't survive on a half-hearted love that will never be whole.
This way, please. Otro aplauso para The Kills, por favor. Your glass of wine. Welcome, guys. I'm in the middle, just in the middle. Here are your microphones. Hey, how are you?
Very well.
Your second time in the show, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love The Last Goodbye.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing. Yeah, but it's kind of different of the rest of your material. How was this song? I mean, how did you...
Well, actually, it started off like we kind of write these sort of slow ballady songs quite easily, and they always end up as a kind of like I always do it in a sort of Velvet Underground kind of vein,
Yeah.
and it always ends up as like the last song on the record, and I was sort of a bit sick of it, so Alison came up with this idea, and it was like it sounded like we were going to do it like a sort of Velvet Underground thing yet again, and I just said no, I want to do it totally differently. So I turned it into a waltz. I just was sick of doing the same thing, you know.
Yeah, of course. And I have seen you live several times, and this is the first time that I see like live drums. When did you decide to include them?
On this record, really, we kind of wanted to have something a little bit more stimulating visually on stage. You know, it was like we had backdrops and lights and everything, but we wanted human drum machines. So it's cool. They're just, you know, doubling up, playing exactly what's on the drum machines between two sets of people. And
I like it.
Feels great.
I like being a little bitch as well. Like, you know, for so many years we've heard people say, you know, in interviews they've said, "Why don't you have a drummer? Why don't you have a drummer everywhere in the world?
I love the drum machine.
Why don't you get a drummer?"
The whole idea of have a drum machine.
Yeah, no, they've always said, you know, wouldn't you ever consider getting a drummer? And I couldn't let them have the last laugh, so I had to get 4 drummers.
Yeah. Boom! Now I have 4 bitches.
Yeah.
And then at the early beginning, did you ever think to find a drummer? Actually,
We did consider it.
We
To
did
start
right at the
with.
beginning.
I think like we thought we used to rehearse in this little soundproof cupboard that these
Okay.
carpenters made for us, and we'd sit and contemplate how we were going to get a band together,
Yeah.
and we thought about how we were going to get a keyboard player or a bass player and a drummer, and then we
It's
just
supposed to be about a
realised that
15-piece
we
band
were
at
the
first,
band.
but-
You know, we kept playing and playing and playing in this little cupboard, and then for a start, no one else could have fit in the cupboard.
No way.
So
No way.
it was just us two, you know, and we suddenly realised that we were the band and we didn't need a drummer, and I got really excited after that.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the whole thing about your shows since the early beginning. I saw you guys here in Mexico in a small festival in some kind of club, like I don't know how many years ago.
I remember that tour. We were
Yes.
in the weirdest bus
it
that
was
had
a
like bunk
festival.
beds in it.
Yeah.
And it had.
It was in like
it was
screwed
kind of
down
like
to
a
the floor.
Yeah, they were sort of
Exactly.
nailed to the
Very
floor.
scary. Yeah.
And who were we with? We were with a couple of other bands that I
Yeah.
don't think I liked.
I think no,
Radio 4.
Radio 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And-
maybe I can't remember the other name. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went
a
to
really
quite a
good show.
few cities on that tour. Never really done anything like that
That
since.
was
So it
like
was great.
2005 or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then I saw you guys also in Glastonbury. It was a terrific show. And I have to say that this moment that you are living with the last album, we all, the people that we love your music, but we all feel like it's more mature in another place, you know? It's like more comfortable and suits you better. That's the
Right.
way we
Yeah.
feel it.
I
Yeah,
suppose time
think
does
so
that.
too. I mean, you just have to be honest with what you're doing, and
Of course.
you know, you get to a point where you make 4 records and you don't want to be singing about roosters fucking and fighting. Kind of doesn't feel very honest anymore.
How did you guys met?
We met in
It was
London.
2000?
No, we met before that. I was over there
In
with
the
a
90s.
different. It was in the 90s, man.
Way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before
And,
the internet.
Yeah, before the internet.
Yeah, it was before the internet. There was some.
Great times before the internet.
It was really good time
Yeah,
back
it was
then.
actually.
Yeah.
Because you could hide, couldn't you? You
Of
could
course,
exist
of
as a
course.
secret.
Now you cannot
Or
disappear.
just as a person.
There is no way.
You know how it was just now there's just absolutely no way, and it's really horrible because if you're in the public eye, the way they treat you is that they want to show everyone else that you're kind of
Just
not
like them.
just like them. So they show you, look at you bending over with a double chin. You know, it's sort of
Bending over with a double chin? Shit.
yeah, exactly.
And you have to be available, like, almost always. But
Yeah.
then you met in London.
We met
Where?
in London in a flat, actually. My band was touring over there. We were staying on the floor downstairs from where he lived. And he came down in the morning for coffee, and I kind of feel like that might have been the first time I ever saw you. Coffee time,
Yeah.
breakfast,
Classic.
toast,
The neighbor
coffee,
that asks
every
for
day.
no-
No,
Coffee.
the first time I ever met you was in the Paxton,
Oh,
which
right.
is a pub
Oh,
just
yeah.
down the down the street from where
Were
I
you
was
playing there?
living.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you walked in, and you went bright red, and I asked you a question and you didn't answer. You just
She was like,
she didn't
"Whatever."
speak. No, she
No,
wasn't
I-
like that at all. There was no arrogance. She just didn't. She was so painfully shy. It was really sweet. And then she was a singer in a band. I thought I couldn't work it out. I was like, how can somebody who's like doesn't dare to speak, how can they sing? And then I watched the band. And whoa. This is the section where I do a bit of contemporary dance. Yeah, a little bit of contemporary dance.
¿Estuvo bien para ustedes ese momento? Sí, ¿no? I got so scared.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
You did?
I'd
I
rehearsed
was
it.
like, fuck. But you were like, tack, tack.
No, because no.
A ticking bomb. Wow. Well, I'm so scared right now.
Anyway,
so let's go to a commercial break, please. Be right back. Estamos con The Hills. Vamos a un corte y regresamos a sesiones. Estamos de regreso aquí en sesiones. Tengo a Alison y a Jamie de The Kills. I have to say this was my favorite moment in an interview in this show.
No, it does happen quite a lot though when the sequencer runs on and then another track comes in and
We both almost have a heart
Forget about
attack.
Yeah, I almost have a heart attack. And I'm hangovering right now.
yeah, me too. We
yeah.
all are.
We all are.
We
in
all
the same
we're the
boat.
5:30 club today. All went to bed at 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, which is
That's
not
good.
not
Yeah,
that
it's
bad, is it? It's not
not
like
bad.
Not really.
And you're with the jet lag, so it's good.
I
Where are
remember.
you based at the moment? In London?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Both.
Yeah. Most of the time, yeah.
most of this. I mean, we were all over the place, really, but
And back to the 90s.
Back to the 90s.
Yeah.
So there he was.
So you met, and then you start like.
yeah, I saw
rehearsing.
her band play, and I wasn't a big fan of the music particularly, but I could not believe this girl singing. You know, it was just like. It was like she was uncomfortable off stage. You know, she was playing an act off stage, and on stage it was a dream. It was like. She'd been shot out of a cannon. It was fantastic.
You can notice that you feel more comfortable on the stage always.
Yeah, I do. I don't know why.
How was the first time that you get in on a stage?
Well, I remember the first shows I ever played, and I was back to being shy. I couldn't face the audience. I would hide behind posts. I would hide behind amps. I remember my first rehearsals everywhere in a garage, you know, and I would take my mic and run it underneath the door and go into the house and into
Really?
the bedroom and lock the door and sing from there.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
So you were really
I was really shy. Yeah, but then eventually, I don't know, after a couple of gigs, I just realized that
You're brilliant.
That was my spot. No, I just like that feeling. I like that line. So that's just your space. There's something to
there
it.
is a correlation somehow between being painfully shy and being an extrovert. You know,
It's like
it's
comedians.
almost like hiding when you.
Comedians, they have the
Yeah.
worst mood.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah.
always, but not when they are
Yeah.
telling jokes.
The sad
It's crazy.
clown. Yeah.
Well, and did you ever think about, have like 4 albums going on with the band more than 10 years?
I mean, we thought we wanted to be the kind when we started the Kills. We had our gods were Sonic Youth,
Mhm.
Fugazi, bands that kind of just operated in their own little niche, you know.
Yes.
They weren't part of another scene,
Yeah.
and they just kept going. It was a way of life. It wasn't a kind of music.
Of course.
And that's how we started our band, thinking that it was going to be. I mean, I'm going to be the Kills until I drop dead. I know that, but I hope that we've got enough imagination to make it into for it to grow into something else,
Of
something
course.
not something more diverse,
Not always the
just
same.
playing and touring and I hope it's going to be a whole knot of like lots of different knots, just crazy paths to take.
What about you, Alison?
I feel exactly the same way. I mean, I think that's the reason that we are doing this. That's the reason why we met and started working like this, because that's how it felt,
But I never thought we would get a record deal. I thought we'd be doing playing music forever, but we didn't really ever think.
We're pretty happy just
We
doing
didn't think-
How was the
music.
thing with the first signing of a record?
Well, it was a bit of an anticlimax for us because we just sort of we were kind of too rebellious for our own good in a way, and we refused to sign a record deal for about a year.
Okay.
Even though Domino were putting our records out, we wouldn't sign a contract.
Okay.
And
Because of a statement? something like that?
Well,
No, we were
because
just-
everyone just does things in a way because it's been done that way before,
it.
and we felt so protective. It was like
Really
we
protective
really,
and nervous. I mean, we wouldn't do interviews for the first year or two. We didn't, you know.
if you commit to turning your life into a band, and making a band your life,
Of course.
then it's kind of not so easy just to throw away something to a record company for a year.
Or
and
let a bunch
sign
of people
something.
in, you know.
I think like fuck
Yeah,
them.
finally it's
Like
a
what?
contract.
Why? Why
Yeah.
should this is. I can exist without you. You can't exist without bands. But we're going to play music whether we've got a record deal or not.
That's it,
I don't
yeah.
need you. And then so we were a bit standoffish. We didn't sign a contract, and we turned out the boss of the label into a chain smoking alopecia crazy moron. He's pulling his own hair out and chain smoking. Smoking one out, pulling his hair out with the other. Really unattractive. Sweating.
Okay.
Bless him.
Did you make the first album? Were you preparing like the songs, thinking in an album, or only in the live show, or only in
We didn't have
in a
enough
flat?
songs. We didn't have enough songs for an album.
No.
Okay.
We
You
did
know, I
an
remember we
EP,
we
did
went
that.
in. We wanted to get some gigs. We did it all about weird way. We wanted to get a gig in London.
You were living in London then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought it's about time we could play the show, but we didn't have a demo or any songs
Or a band name.
recorded or a band name. So we went into a studio to
You used
record a
use
demo.
Your nicknames or something
Yeah,
like that. am I
Vivian
right?
Hotel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we went into a studio to record a demo, and then we didn't have any means of copying it to send out to anyone. So I gave it to a friend who worked in a record shop to burn. He had a CD burner, and he just played it in the shop. He kept playing it over the
He must
system.
have had to play it to burn it or something.
Yeah, he kept burning them. As he was burning them, he was playing them. And that week, we just got people that were coming in the record shop. We just got calls from every single label in the world, and then it was like, shit. We were there. We suddenly, we did something. And we kind of felt a bit self-disgusted because we never really wanted labels like EMI and Columbia to like us. We always wanted to be too antisocial for that. But I guess the times changed.
Guys, I really appreciate that you're here.
Thanks for
Could
having
you
us.
play a little bit more for us?
Yes, we
Yeah,
will.
yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Feel at home.
Nice one.
Well, I know you feel at home.
I do. I could
you-
stay here all
Yeah,
day,
you
actually.
play your sequences anytime you want.
I was
Take
pretty
care.
quick. I was like
Nice
quicker than the
to-
human eye.
to have you here again. Pues, bueno, un aplauso de Hince, por favor. Bueno, ahora que ya regresan al escenario, como siempre les quiero recordar las vías de acceso a nuestro contenido, sesionesconalejandrofranco.com, nuestras redes sociales, me pueden seguir en Twitter en @alejandrofranco. Y bueno, ya nos vamos, gracias por haber estado con nosotros, gracias a este público espectacular el día de hoy, un fuerte aplauso de nueva cuenta. Me voy, que estén muy bien, los dejo de nueva cuenta con The Kills.
There's a monkey on my back that makes me act like that. There's a monkey on my back makes me talk like that. Running into trouble, running